So thank you everyone for tuning in. I am now going to bring forth a solution and a tool for you to use in your life, in your hookup dynamics moving forward, that will support you in doing things with more presence, more awareness, and more intention. All right? And so ding, 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 here I have a little card that I made. This is my business card. And on the back of it, I have a conscious intimacy conversation prompt. All right, this is not mine. This comes from ISTA, International Institute of Temple Arts. And this is something that they teach as part of more open poly community for us to do things consciously. All right, so you can remember this conversation as spread the love. All right, and so the first letter stands for sexual transmitted disease. All right, so first conversation would be like, hey, before we share any more intimacy or connection, I want to just have this conversation with you to make sure that we have enough understanding and clarity, whether we have alignment with each other or not. Literally, that's all it is. It's about alignment. Okay? So, S, do you have any STDs? When was the last time you've been checked? And do you have anything to report? This is also a good question for vaccinations. After COVID, I know there's a lot of people who don't want to hook up with others who had any sort of COVID vaccines. And so this health conversation will really support you in getting that first base information out of the way. All right? So spread, letter P stands for protection and pregnancies. Two questions here. Number one, are we using protection? Condoms, female condoms, contraceptives, and then pregnancy. Do you want to have kids? How do you feel if we get pregnant? What do we do if we get pregnant? All right, this is heavy because this is responsibility. Many men don't want to talk about this. They don't want to talk about what would happen if I get a woman pregnant. Y'all just want to stick your dick inside of us and make us into your cum bucket while we have to face the consequences of unwanted abortions and unwanted pregnancies and failure to fucking have a pregnancy and then having a miscarriage. Do you know how painful those things are for women? While y'all men carry no consequences for pregnancy, we carry all of it. And guess what? While a woman can get pregnant around 6 days out of the month, y'all men are 24/7 able to make a child. So why are men not on birth control? Ding, ding, ding. That's another situation that y'all want to look into, okay? So that's really important, all right? So that conversation alone can really tell you what the guy is at, all right? So next we have letter R, and R stands for relationships. What is your current relationship status? Okay? Style and agreements. And the question that I really like, is there somebody who thinks they are in a relationship with you? Okay? Ding, ding, ding. A lot of men, I love being in situationships. But if you're in a situationship with a woman for many, many years and you keep fucking her and she feels attached to you, guess what? In her mind, you're in a relationship. And if you haven't asked her to be your girlfriend or to be your wife in under 2 years, first of all, you're an asshole. You're wasting her time. Okay? And second of all, you're still in a fucking relationship, even if you don't think about it. Okay, over 2 years, y'all should be engaged. Or you break up and you go find someone else. Like Russian women, you have 9 months to propose to me. After that, you move on. Usually like 3 to 9 months, you know if this is a person you want to be with. Okay, 3 months, no sex, get to know each other, and then see if you're all still liking each other. Okay? And then we have E. This is where a lot of men get really hung up. Okay, this is where my first girlfriend, whose guy was emotionally unavailable, he couldn't get past this answer. Because the question stands, what does this connection mean to you? What does it mean to you if we were to hook up and have sex? Okay, For some people, it may be like, whatever, I got my dick wet, I'm good to go. For somebody, it might be like, wow, I just opened the love portal with you and I saw the timeline with you and we had past lives together and we're going to have kids in this lifetime. What does it mean to you? And a lot of men will have a hard time responding to that because y'all don't put sex and emotional meaning into the same container. Whereas women, we need the emotional meaning in order to truly open up to you. Okay, so that prompt is really important. Spread, so we had SPRE, and then we have A, which stands for Aftercare. I love this. This is one of my favorite prompts that I've personally learned. How can I support you after we share intimacy? All right, little side note example. At this festival, I've shared some intimacy with another man. We did not have this conversation. We didn't have sex. It was like PG intimacy. But part of me was waiting to hear from him and to see what he would say after our connection. And so before he left the campsite, he left some substances that he wanted to pick up. And so his message on Monday to me is like, hey, Allie, can I please stop by to get my things? So he just wants to come back and pick up his drugs? Okay, bro, I just spent 6 hours in a K portal with you all over each other. All you care about is to come back and pick up your drugs? Hey, how's it going? How you feeling? Hey, it was really good connecting with you. Hey, thank you for inviting me to your campsite. Hey, thank you for sharing your energy. Thank you for sharing your body. I had a good time with you. None of that. He just wants to come and pick up his drugs, okay? So in this case, my aftercare would have been like, yeah, I would like to actually sit down and have a reflection on our conversations, on our time together. Like, I understand we were on drugs, so we didn't have this conversation ahead of time. I just want to check in to see how you're feeling. Okay? There was none of that. So that tells me already that this guy needs the card. And then aftercare can also be like, hey, I want a text message. I want a phone call. I want to go to breakfast afterwards. Or I want you to just text me back and check in on me and see how I'm doing. Literally, like, you as a person have to know what your aftercare needs are, and then you share that with your partner. All right? And then ding, 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 we have the last one here. Letter D stands for decision. All right? Once you have all of these things covered, you can now make a conscious decision whether or not you want to continue in engaging with this individual. All right? And so if the answer is yes, D stands for desires, fears, and boundaries. Okay? When we talk about intimacy, it's important to note that there's so many ways to share intimacy beyond sex and penetration. Also, the word sex means different things to different people. Whereas for some people, sex is penetrative sex, penis and the vagina. For others, making out is also sex. Oral sex is also sex. Cuddling naked is also sex for some people. So you might want to get clarity around what you want. And what I really like about this is that it forces you to like really tune into what you want to experience. Maybe like you had this conversation and the person is like, oh, I don't want kids. I'm not interested. Maybe you don't want to have sex with them because that puts you in the position of potentially getting pregnant. And let's just be clear, condoms and birth control are not 100%. Okay? So knowing that you don't want to get pregnant by this guy, but maybe you're still open and are available for intimacy, maybe you can have a naked cuddle party instead. Okay, so good things to know. And then fears and boundaries. Boundaries can be things like, okay, maybe we do oral sex, but no physical penetration. Or maybe we just make out with our clothes on. Or maybe no anal sex. You know, whatever your boundaries are, like, you can speak that. And what I also like about this is fears. Vulnerably sharing your fears. Like, My fear after this hookup is that this guy is a douchebag and I just gave him 5 hours of my time and all he cares about is picking up his drugs. Like, that's my fear. Fear of not being appreciated, fear of being rejected, fear of being abandoned. Those are all really fucking valid, you guys. And when we start tuning into that and being vulnerable with each other, our sexuality will transform. And this is where I will bring you to Sacred Muse Tantra, where it's more advanced, sacred sexuality content. Okay? Because we can't do Tantra without being conscious. Okay? In fact, Tantra and tantric sex, which is energetic, is really delightful. And you can avoid all these STDs and pregnancy fears by having tantric sex with a man. Okay, but those tantric gigolos and the medicine men who walk around like, I got a little baggie of goodies, like, what do you want? You know, they just try to like drug you up and dissociate you so then he can fuck you. Like, we gotta watch out, ladies, for these fuck boys that are walking around with their egoic persona, with their drug pouch or their medicine pouch or whatever. Like, the thing to really look out for is his consciousness connected to his heart or to his dick or to money? But if consciousness is connected to money, then he's also operating out of his dick. It's hard to find a man who's connected to his heart and connected to his money. All right, there is like this triangle of men. It's like gym, money, emotional stability. If he goes to the gym and he has emotional stability, he ain't got money. If he got money and he got emotional stability, he ain't going to the gym. If he's going to the gym and he got money, he ain't got emotional stability. And so ding, 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 you have that. And so it is my intention that in this video, you got to explore a little bit deeper about the hookup culture and its side effects on the relational chapters and how we perceive each other moving forward. At the end of the day, we need each other. Women and men, we're not separate. We are part of this collective. And as we awaken and this world shifts, we're shifting with it. But it's one thing to get swallowed up and become unconscious with the flow of the societal currents. But it's the other thing to awaken out of the matrix, to see the distortions, to feel the discomfort and the pain of things that are not working, and to choose to do things differently, to choose to relate with more love, with more intention, with more consciousness, and to learn, spread the love prompt so that you are prepared next time you meet somebody delightful that you want to connect with. All right. And so thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. I felt super excited to bring this topic to you. And until we see each other next time, I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. And till we see each other again. Ciao.